Hello everyone, we are Group 2, and my name is Nayang Guak, the first presenter. Today, we are going to talk about The White Teeth, written by J.D. Smith. And our topic is, why do you think the novel is called White Teeth? And what do teeth mean here? The reason why we choose this topic is, while we are reading this novel, the writer constantly talking about the teeth or white teeth. After reading this, we have the same question about the novel. What is the meaning of white teeth? What does it mean? And now let me introduce the contents. I think you guys might read this novel, so we decided to skip the whole summary of novel. Instead, give you some brief characters relationship. And second is the keyword with white teeth, explaining the detailed meaning of the white teeth. Lastly, we're going to finish the presentation by summarizing our opinion. There's a two main family in this novel, Jones and Borden family and Iqbal and Begum family. Englishman Archie married with Jamaican girl Clara. They had a daughter named Ivy. And Bangladeshman Samad married with Osana, and she's also a kind of Bangladesh. They had a two sons named Magid and Millet. You guys can see this multicultural family leads the entire story of this novel. We choose the three keywords of the white teeth: root, truth and false, and generation differences. We are paying attention to subtle mechanism that works to reveal uncomfortable truths hidden beneath the teeth, and also contemplating that multicultural subject suffers from a sense of ethnicity, fragmentation of identity, to define and resist it.
Hello, this is Hyunjung Seo, and I wanna talk about the first meaning of the white teeth. First, the white teeth can symbolize the root of immigrants. J.D. Smith declares that the 20th century was the century of the strangers, and says it was an era of a large mix of black, brown, white, and yellow. The strangers had to overcome their alienation each other. J.D. Smith sometimes delves deep into the painful roots of history through the symbol of the root of teeth. But on the other hand, what the novel is trying to say is that the black-skinned migrants, symbolized by white teeth, are now living part of history with those who have brought them to their places. The heterogeneous white teeth are like the new teeth in British society, and in order to settle down with each other, they needed a process of suffering and conflict, as if they were suffering from pain when they have new teeth. It also emphasizes that in order to accommodate all the pain and conflict, this society needs to grow, and we all need to grow up together. This metaphor on white teeth can be found here and there in the novel, including the title. Here is one example. The problem with third morals is, one is never sure whether one's mouth will be quite large enough to accommodate them. They are the only part of the body that a man must grow into. He must be a big enough man for these teeth, you see? Because if not, oh dear me, they grow crooked or any which way, or refuse to grow at all. They stay locked up there with the bone, an impaction I believe is the term, and terrible, terrible infection ensues. You simply must, you can fight against it. Because they're your father's teeth, you see? Wisdom teeth are passed down by the father, I'm certain of it. So you must be big enough for them. There are many metaphors of white teeth like this one, and they mean that multicultural society has already firmly rooted in British society, like the teeth. J.D. Smith said, I didn't write about race. I just wrote about this country where I live now. Whiteness is not about British people with different skin colors, but about various humans living in Britain today. So, the author would like to talk about the possibility of a harmonious multi-ethnic and multi-racial society, seeking to combine the multicultural identity and the British identity that had been in an exclusive relationship.
Hello, I'm Yeji. The second meaning that I want to talk about is the truth or force. When characters face a truth, they become more natural and are shown as they are. For example, Clara tries to abandon her dialect for making her pronunciation perfect English accent. Furthermore, after her teeth are broken by an accident, she uses fake teeth to seem more beautiful and get speaking more accurately. So the writer displays Clara shows herself firstly like her fake teeth, and her real problem can be from untrue things by herself. And also in chapter 12, Joyce asks to Clara, which side do you think Iris gets it from, the Jamaican or the English? In this situation, Clara says, forced and true, I guess the English in my side. My grandfather was an Englishman, but seriously, it was probably Captain Charlie Durham. He taught my grandmother all she knew, a good English education. Lord knows I can't think who else it could be, but it is totally forced. As the front door closes behind her, she is filled with frustration and anger, because all she talks to was a lie like her white teeth, and she thinks Captain Charlie Durham wasn't smarter than Hortense and Grandma Ambrosia. At the moment she expresses Durham as a no-good-a-jam fool boy in Jamaican accents. When she talks to Joyce, she tries to speak with English accents. However, when she avoids the truth and reaches the emotional climax, she pops out in her mind with a native language. Likewise, in the end of the novel, when Iqbal gets to know the truth Archie couldn't kill Dr. Sick a long time ago, he realized that he has been lied to by his only friend in the world for 50 years. Then he says, You two-faced boggling buster trickster, 미사마타 마한초테 수아라바이카 수엔 하람자다. Samad trembles into the Bangla vernacular. We can know that J.D. suggests that people express their mind in native language when they face the truth and feel variously extreme emotions. However, we can find out the novel has other characters who tries to assimilate in Britain and be more English, don't speak in a native language. So in these characters, nature changes into a natural. Unlike Clara and Samad, are reveal their thoughts in native language when they face the truth and feelings run high. Therefore, teeth can symbolize a truth or force.
Hi, I'm Hyunwoo Jung, and I'll explain about another meaning of white teeth. It is generational difference. It is about the contrast between two different things each of them pursues: creation and maintenance. Some of distinctive characters of white teeth can be categorized into two groups: those who seek for where they can belong and write down their new history, and those who want to maintain their old identities and cultures. The former gets assimilated to the new cultures around them, and the latter ends up being stagnant. Probably J.D. Smith would have acquired her idea about it observing the different natures of primary and permanent teeth. It is not easy for us to escape from where we are, just as teeth can hardly escape from where they are. But just as primary teeth can go away at some point of our lives, the teeth metaphor also admits that it is not necessarily impossible for us to change on the other hand. However, it can also mean that you can be someone like a permanent teeth, permanently being trapped in or even being spontaneously attached to your past without any current advance if you lose your second, which is actually last chance, just like Samad Iqbal seemingly does. Likewise, Mr. Hamilton says in the chapter 7, mammals only get 2 chances with teeth. We can see how permanent and primary teeth are different from Samad Iqbal's family. Samad Iqbal, who is the father of the family, is Islam conservative who thinks his boys have to be raised in Islamic culture in order to grow up properly. His attachment to his own culture is so strong, it even blinds him to act like an idiot in the parent meeting of his son's school. Indeed, he is a very typical stagnant person who does not know how to move from where he currently is. And it doesn't seem to change. Magid and Milat, on the other hand, are primary teeth, continuously traveling the lands of identities. For primary teeth, there is a promise for abundant potential and possibility to change, as if they are aggressively trying to prove such fact. They truly become many things throughout their lives. 1 minute Milad was some punk kid who wishes to be a cool gangster. Next minute he becomes a member of radical Islam society. Magid, who once was a devout Islam student in his early teenhood, grows up to be more English than his family and their English neighbors are. They seem to literally explore the maps of identities, experience reborn again and again, assimilating to the whatever cultures that they contact with, creating new mixed identities of their own, as freely as pulled out, unplanted primary teeth might do. Samad Iqbal is sometimes described as someone too much stubborn. Milat Iqbal is sometimes portrayed as someone too much dissolute. But according to J.D. Smith, both kind of people are all necessary. She goes like, it is true that it is sad to see the tradition fades away, but there is always force of creation in the force of destruction. The world is where all the different identities cross one another, and it fuels the creation of new cultures. Thus, both parents and new generation, despite sometimes they can be too stubborn or too dissolute, because we need both groups of people who keep the tradition and create something new. They are all important participants of our society to make creative advances and harmonical coexistence.
And now, closing this presentation, I want to give you guys the overall view and author's intention in this part. J.D. Smith ties cultures together by putting an emphasis that the things they share, and teeth are obviously the largest part of how she consolidates the cultures in this novel. Our teeth, and thus our inherent human similarities, have lasted with us through foundational elements of mankind. Although we are all same, we reflect different appearances and attempt to mask our similarities. In other words, no matter what culture you are from, everyone shares at least one common physical trait. Not only white teeth is deeply rooted in a human scam, but also means that multicultural society has taken root in British. This is the best title that implies various connotations like racial discrimination, assimilation, and being ethnic, and it shows the writer's realistic view of British society. That is the author's ultimate intention, and the reason why she named this novel White Teeth. Thank you.